Okay.
You can see the people, they talking to you in the comments.
I don't see no people.
This is just a reminder that, all government documents from
You don't see no people talking to you in the comments.
No.
Who is live?
Okay. Okay, I see it now. Okay.
It is 5:21 on September 20th, and I hereby call this meeting of the Flint City Council Finance Committee to order. Roll call, please. Mr. Mays? Ms. Lewis? Ms. Priestley? Present. There are 5 members present. Is there any request for changes and/or additions to the agenda?
No, Madam Chair.
Mr. Mays?
Yeah, I want to add a change after the resolutions. I want to have a conversation with the finance
Okay.
director and Mr. Edwards as it relates to
Okay.
Ernst and Young and the ARPA funds.
I can move order that without objection.
Okay, what about there?
Maybe there's an objection.
And also, Madam Chair, I would attempt to have, and as long as we have only 5 years,
You need me to move it over?
you know, that we were here today. But I also
Okay.
want to, after the resolution, have a conversation about the emergency purchasing
Okay. What about now? Okay.
I'll order that without objection.
Okay. All right.
Okay, is objection to both of those?
Okay.
Okay, is there a motion? Is there any other additions or changes to the agenda?
Say what?
one more, Madam Chair.
Yes, Mr. Mays?
I don't know how to do that. You can't. Rich.
So that's discussion regarding.
They say they can't hear him, so you need to move that over. They can't hear Eric.
And I will order that. Okay, so that item will be, held passing discussion, so we have 2, additions that you want, that we need to have a motion. That was discussion, with five.
They saying they can't hear him
On this one.
Yes. You need to listen.
So is there a motion for that? Okay, there's a motion on the floor to add a discussion item after resolutions to apply to Mr. Moore regarding ARPA and Ernst & Young. Is there support? Okay, there's been moved and properly seconded to have a discussion. Again, so, roll call, oh, excuse me, discussion. Yes, Ms. Lewis.
I would like to put a motion forward to suspend elimination.
I'm sorry, excuse me.
I would like to vote forward to vote sequence.
Okay, I don't know if that's the proper motion in this time. I'm gonna check that. Mr. City Attorney, motion, there's been a motion made in the middle of a discussion to vote in sequence, immediately with no discussion on agenda changes. Is that allowed at this point in the agenda since we have a motion on the floor and it's been seconded?
I don't know if there's, was there a motion that called a question that can be made, but no, I'm not familiar with call for a vote in sequence.
Okay, it's actually, limits debate. It's a motion to be moved.
Oh,
It's the city. It's the sound system.
So there's been a motion made to limit debate on the agenda changes. I know it's okay prior to that. I think it,
Okay, I can do this.
so that's Rule 17.
One thing I can do is get it closer to that speaker as possible.
okay, so that would be in order. What's my feeling on that?
I don't see anything that specifies when it's going.
Please turn. Let's vote this.
17.3
Okay.
says motion to limit or extend debate is not debatable.
Okay, thank you very much. Then that motion is in order. So is there a second on the motion to vote immediately in sequence for any agenda changes? Support. Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded. So roll call vote, please, madam. Mr. Knight.
No.
Ms. Lewis? Yes. Mr. Murphy? Yes. Ms. Priestley? Yes. Mr. Garland, no. Mr. Garland, no. Mr. Shan? Yes. Mr. Piper? Four yes, two no, that motion fails. Go ahead, we have discussion on the agenda change. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, Madam
Go
Chair.
ahead, Mr. Nix.
Through you to Mr. Edwards and to the finance, director in their approach. Mr. Edwards, while your approach, and I will say for the record, I don't believe, the way that I'm seeing some of my colleagues vote, that this discussion will happen after resolutions. I will walk my way through it now for the record, under the way that I'm trying to, we shouldn't have to, tight walk rules in a finance committee meeting. Have you had any luck from Ernst and Young? Don't look like they're here today. What's the response, and who are you talking to, Brian Krzyzewski?
Yes, Madam Chair, to Councilman Mays, yes, the sentiments and requests have been properly communicated with Ernst and Young.
What is your thoughts? They just refusing to show up to a council meeting?
I think that, to the best of my knowledge, I believe that they need to understand what it is that they're being summoned to do. They are unclear what they're supposed to come here to do.
Yeah, they've been hired for $1 billion or so to help us with compliance. And sometimes it's just common sense that if we're gonna allocate the money and we control the purse strings, if we have questions on compliance, keep resolutions before us that we have to vote on even today that's subject to compliance. So common sense to me, maybe not everybody else says, if we're in a working process to allocate millions of dollars, there's nothing wrong with having the compliance firm here as we allocate these money. So they're being summoned to do a job that they've been contracted to do. Now, are they meeting and talking with you or the administration? Do you know? Have you met a Mr. Finance Director?
I have not, but I do know that my staff talks to them on a very regular basis.
Okay, so my point is if they're talking to staff and administrators, we one of the main cogs in this process. They don't understand what they're being summoned to do. That's what I'm hearing you say. Tell them I said that they're being summoned to fulfill a contract with this council and with this city on the council side in order to help us with compliance as we try to creatively do these projects. Can you remember that, or should I shorten it up?
No, Councilman Mays, duly noted.
Okay. I don't see, I can see the clock here, it's about 2 minutes left. You know, I don't think this council, particularly the ones that don't even want to discuss it in the finance committee meeting, don't want to discuss our funds, don't want to discuss why aren't some young things showing up. I don't believe I can count 5 votes here today to summons them and subpoena them. But I'm gonna try to get that done. If they don't know why they're being asked to come and find out. That's what they should do, come and find out. And this council should have enough wherewithal among themselves in order to have a working session as it relates to the allocation of ARPA funds. Mr. Finance Director, do you know how much money is left in ARPA funds today? Estimate. I can estimate it. I want to see what you say.
Okay.
I would hesitate to estimate.
It's on the tripod.
I've looked at the report, but I don't know the numbers enough to say with confidence at the meeting.
If you remember by Monday, today is Wednesday, try to have an estimate. I'm going to estimate somewhere between 30 and 60 million.
That'd be right.
You think that's pretty a fair estimate?
Yeah.
You know it's got a wide range.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say, you know, we want folks to come and talk about 30 million. Would you think that's a fair request?
Yes, as far as I understand, yes.
Okay, do we have a contact number for Ernst & Young?
I'm sure we do.
Okay, can you get that contact number to the city clerk and I'm gonna call and see what they say? Yeah. How about that?
Release to call Emmer.
How about that?
Thank you.
Yeah. Hold up, I asked, how about that before the vote went up, man? You don't want
No,
him to
I'll let
answer.
him answer.
I'll call him back for 5 minutes.
That shouldn't be a problem.
Give the number to the clerk.
Correct.
When you get that number, the big give it to me.
Is
Okay,
there
thank
any
you.
discussion? Go ahead. I heard, Mr. Murphy.
I would like to make a motion to,
Get at the ear, it's gonna go in.
Speak in the mic, sir.
Get at the ear, back that way.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor to subpoena. Okay, Ernst & Young to appear before council. Is there support?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I second that motion.
Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
Yes.
yes,
Mr. Murphy first and then Mr. Mays.
thank you. There's no way we all can someone $1 million, and, there's been several attempts to,
Okay, what I need to do.
come before city council, and they have not appeared before city council in between the administration and whoever need to have reached out to them and bring them here. I think they're doing a disservice to us as a body, to this community, to not come, because we as a whole branch of government, and regardless whether they want to hear from us or not, or answer our questions, they have the responsibility.
What I need to do.
Contract over, the consultant over our dollars to come and, clear up or answer
No, it's
any
not.
unanswered for them to not have appeared before this council, probably they done came probably 3 or 4 times since we gave them the contract. It's unacceptable.
Okay,
So,
is it right now?
at this point in time,
Is it right now?
putting in referrals and requesting for them to come is not,
Is it right now?
it's just not, it's not.
Is it YouTube right now?
We have no other choice at this point in time. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mays?
Yeah, Madam Chair, I don't want to take away from it.
That's all you can see is the earring.
And I want to kind of see if Ms. Burns is going to catch on to what we are
Come on,
talking about,
please.
what this motion is about. But really what I'm saying, I'm tempted to make a amendment to the motion that if indeed we bring them here to have a special meeting all in all with them and a discussion of the ARPA. I'm not gonna do it right now because when a motion is made, probably second, and our rules, each council person gets 2 times in the round. And it frustrates me sometimes when mine is cut off procedure. So I've taken about a minute in this first round. I might do an amendment and see if that amendment gets support. But for right now, you know, I'm good at the first round. I'll be bold to subpoena it. But the time, place, and the amendment that I want to make, I'm going to be nervous to see what happens with that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Mays. Is there any other discussion?
Madam Chair.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Through you to, Mr. Edwards. Mr. Edwards, when we first started allocating ARPA funds, we used to get confirmation from Ernst & Young prior to it coming to the floor that it was acceptable and approved for funding. Now, we're getting a statement saying if it's approved by them, then it will be allocated. So, because we vote as a body, does Ernst & Young have the ability to overthrow our vote?
No, not at all.
If I'm on the camera,
Why did
air
the
gonna be
process
out.
change and we now are getting confirmation, at least this body's getting confirmation after we already voted on
Okay.
resolutions for ARPA funds? And I'm leaning towards supporting the subpoena because it doesn't seem like we're getting the support we need from Ernst & Young. So that's what I'm trying to ask, why did the process change?
I get, Madam
Okay.
Chair, Councilman Pfeiffer, I guess I would need clarification. Could you clarify what exactly, you
So,
talk about
I'm in a
what
meeting.
has changed?
So we used to get an email or some other verification from, Mr. Jarzinski saying that these funds would be approved per the treasury rules. But now, we don't get that, we get a statement, that says, as a result, the city official, blah, 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 before the funds are spent, the city ARPA administration compliance and implementation shall review the or shall review that they're acceptable to be spent. So why is that happening after the fact, instead of we get confirmation before the fact, before we know that we're voting on something that can be approved?
Is that, my apologies, is that in?
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do, but my question to you would be, is that language in the it is resolved portion of the resolution?
Yes.
Okay, because typically they have been,
And I
that
don't-
had not been the case.
Yeah, I know,
On some
but
of
we
them.
also, because it wasn't there, we got confirmation from Ernst & Young that the funds were
I
approved.
don't know right now, but I
And we don't longer get that, we just get this statement. So are they approving funds before we get a resolution, and why don't we get confirmation that?
I think that's
Yeah.
my best understanding. I usually go through these. I didn't
Say
catch
that
that
again?
particular thing. But my best
Who am
understanding
I?
is always
Can't
that
see
it is
what.
vetted through them prior to us submitting it to council.
I wish you
We
come
have an
down here.
understanding that that's the appropriate use and it meets the criteria and it meets
Okay, that's
the
good.
plan as it was approved. That's always been the case. That still is the case. I'm not sure why that particular piece of language ended up in that resolution. Which resolution is it?
230252.1 is the one I'm reading, but I believe it's in all of them. It's in every application that we have.
I believe, my belief is the person that composed those, but just didn't compose it with the full appropriate language.
Because Ernst and Young used to be here when we had our resolutions on the agenda, and whether or not we got written verification or verbal when we asked him on the record whether or not they were approved, and all of that went away. So right now, this body has no data that any of these are approved.
No, as I spoke before, nothing's changed about the administration's procedure about having EY vet that information prior to arrival to council. I believe that the person that was composing that section didn't put in, they copied it from some other place, but they didn't put it in the right way.
So between you and Mr. Moore, can you look into that and try to resolve that?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Any other discussion?
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
through you to Mr. Edwards. So my only concern, and I know my colleague thinks that he would not have support on this, but my only concern with this is that it's been asked several times for them to come before us and they've not come. And I wish it did not have to come to being subpoenaed. But if at this point you've been asked several times for them to come and we've not seen them yet, and you're saying there's no problem and they need to know why, it's rather concerning that, again, something that we all have a say in, co-equal members making decisions, and they won't come before us, and we're not even given a good reason as to why. And so I feel like we're at a point now, unfortunately, where I will have to support this subpoena because they have not come before us. I don't know if maybe you get them on the phone before we vote for them to just say they will come without being subpoenaed. I don't know what the answer is, but at this point, they do need to come before us.
Any other discussion?
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
thank you. Good evening, Ms. Edwards. I will be supporting this subpoena. One, because the process is not been transparent. Two, I asked for an email and I sent to the clerk and then the city attorney for the ARPA applications and approved, because they should, I felt, been in our packet. If it's something that Ernst and Young approved, we should have had what their approval was, like they did on the spreadsheet initially. There were some things that were missing. Cyrus Park wasn't in there, and that was approved to give to Neighborhood Engagement Hub. And so I wanted to know would that Ernst Young approved that, and then we find out that that entire resolution was asked by the administration to be removed. So it's not transparent, which was my issue. One was we have, our funds are being given to nonprofit, because we have a nonprofit here that was given, and we didn't know that it was a council member. So I have a problem with that, because if Ernst & Young is good, we should have access. We have a 12-person member body that has been meeting, and we have no notes on what they met on. Nobody knows how they came to their conclusion, how they approved anything, what was their process. There is nothing. Madam Clerk, have you received, through you, Madam Chair, to Madam Clerk, have you received anything from the 12-person ARPA committee as of yet? Madam Chair, Clerk, I did send a request for the copy of the applications that were approved. have you received anything from Ernst & Young or this administration?
Not since you requested it, no, that in the past. But it was just a short report where they, checked the first checks, like the first 100 or so, that's the only thing I ever got from Ernst & Young. That was several months ago.
Okay, so here's the problem, Mr. Edwards. We have really gotten the shaft from this, and this is a problem. Because this money is coming in, they're saying it's spent, it's 30 million, it's 50 million, and Ernst & Young has been asked, I would say 6 months, at least 6 months to come. And we have gotten the old little shuffle. You know, we've asked them, they haven't showed. I didn't find I don't even think it's Ernst & Young. I didn't find him to be a person that would not come. I did not. I found him to be very transparent when he came before, but when I'm asking for these applications, I need him to bring these approved applications, because we need to know how he got approved. You had applications that people asked for $150,000, but then somebody gave them $225,000. Did Ernst & Young approve the $150,000, or did they approve the $225,000? How do you submit an application online for a dollar amount, and then you get more than what you submitted for? That's a problem. That is a problem. And Ernst & Young, you know, they're going to leverage funds. They're $1 million company. You got to trust. It was the greatest sales pitch ever to get nothing. And I don't think it was them. I think it was this administration holding back and tying their hands. I truly believe that. And so I want to see the applications of the approved ones. We need to see the companies or the nonprofits that weren't approved, because the meetings were met in secret. How y'all did this was very skillful. We will put it out, and then once they approve, we won't tell nobody when the meetings are to occur. They've already completed all of their meetings. Who approved them to get a stipend? Because I asked you at 2 meetings, you didn't know if they got a stipend. It was on the city website that they received $500 stipend for making these recommendations. According to our charter, page 5, it states what a multi-member body is. Page 56, 57, and 58 goes into further detail. And so we look at what a multi-member body is. The same is our citywide advisory board. They make a recommendation. With our planning and commission and zone, they make a recommendation. All of those boards are multi-member body boards that make decisions. And those, they come for resolution to council. In this process, we may also light our city charter on fire because it is not being followed. I will be supporting to have Ernst & Young here. They need to be subpoenaed. I want them applications, all of the applications. I want to see them. I want to see Cyrus Park too. Because this, I don't know how that got through and it wasn't disclosed. I want to see it all, Mr. Edwards. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any other discussion in the first round? Any other discussion in the first round? See no movement, discussion in the second round? Any discussion in the second round? Seeing none?
Madam Chair.
Oh, go ahead.
Mr. Edwards, again, through you too, Mr. Edwards, I don't know if you can get someone on the phone, because I know we'll all probably, a few of us are going to take our 5 minutes, but if we can avoid a subpoena, please let's do that.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
I'm going to be very clear on this.
Excuse me, where is that?
Oh, one second, yes. I'm going to be very clear. I don't want a phone call. I want a subpoena. We didn't get the phone call and the open dope, and we've been sitting here for 6 months. No phone call is going to suffice. We're not kindly doing it anymore.
Yes.
That didn't work. For 6 months, they have been absent.
Okay.
Nobody being nice anymore. These millions of dollars have been allocated and given, rolled up and bundled into other nonprofits. No, ain't no being no nice anymore. Get Ernst & Young here. Get the applications here. All of them. We got people saying they submitted and they were declined. Okay, well, let's see what those notes were. What did Ernst & Young say? Why they declined? I want to see Ernst & Young said, hey, we like this organization so much, let's give them another $50,000. I want to see that. I want to see that. If not, we need to go to court on something, because this stuff is a mess. $94.7 million came to this community, and we got a lady sitting up in here who was in the second board, who her ceiling was falling in. She's sleeping in her car. We have to make sure make accommodations for people who can't get ARPA funds, who need insurance. So I'm not being nice. I've been courteous, I've been nice. My residents want results. We're not asking anymore. I don't give no 5-minute phone call. No, they need to be subpoenaed. They need to be here. Because if we got to answer to our residents, Ernst & Young needs to answer to this body. We were all elected. We were elected. We shouldn't be at this point. That's the sad part. If this administration had followed the charter, a multi-member body is anybody of one or more members. Anytime you have a multi-member body, it comes to the Flint City Council by resolution or orders. That didn't happen. You got 12 people picked, and we didn't pick any of the people on there. We weren't even told they were meeting. It's a violation of the Open Meetings Act because it wasn't displayed so the public could attend. You had meetings where a veteran has served his country, but he couldn't sit in a meeting to find out where $94.7 million was going to be allocated. We're meeting in secrecy. So Ernst & Young needs to be here. Are they okay for this 12 multi-member body to give recommendations, which members on this body said, well, they're just giving recommendations. That's the same function that the citywide advisor. It's the same, it's the ethics board can only give advisory. It's the same as the zoning and planning board. It's the same as every multi-member body do as give recommendations. But this group has got a hold to $94.7 million, and they don't have to come before this body. That's not what we do. And if we have a resolution that stays with the water department, and they have, and one of the contractors needs more money, it comes before us with a change, first with the resolution, secondly with a change order that they're going to need more money, and then we vote on it. That's been the process. That has not been the process with this $94.7 million. It is not transparent. It is unethical. It